everybody, and welcome to Tech Talk Tonight. This is episode number 52. That means that we've been doing this for a year exactly because we have never missed a week, and we have been posting for the last 52 weeks. Absolutely. Right? My inevitable co-host, Gavin R.
Yes, we are always on time. Sorry, I was just tweeting instead of listening to you, but I think we should take some time at the end of this show, Braden, perhaps in the post show, and ponder what we've accomplished with 1 year's worth of content.
Ponder, you say? What exactly?
Well,
No. We'll wait for the
ponder,
end. I understand. Okay.
Cry and give up.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway. But we are here to talk technology news, correct? We are here to inform the masses as we have for the past year's time, and
I mean, if we haven't done anything in the past year, at least we got an animated bottom lower third graphic. That's all I'm saying.
oh, yeah, yep, it's moving.
I'm pretty impressed by that, actually.
And now it's doing all sort of, I don't even know what this is doing.
Now you broke it.
I did break it.
But anyway, people didn't come to watch you play with your TriCaster, Braden.
No, they didn't.
They came to hear about the tech news.
Because I don't own a TriCaster. Where the heck did your video go? I don't even know where this is coming from, but look at this. I could do your tweet. Ooh.
Now we cue to the...
There you are. No, that's me.
Now we go to Katie's favorite part of the show, which is our technical difficulties.
I have no idea what I have done. It's just me. Where did you go?
Do you want me to just give up? Are we giving up on this show?
No, now I see you. Swap mode. What the heck?
You really should just focus a camera on that screen in the background. That would be more entertaining.
You're back. Sorry. I'll cut this all out in post, I swear.
Well, for our live viewers, they're dropping like flies. I mean, and when you only have a few flies to drop, it's pretty bad.
I don't think that's true. I think we have the same small number that we always begin with. Anyway, let's move on to technology news, shall we, Gavin?
So
I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Big news. SimCity is coming out.
That's big news?
That's
the big news you're going to tell me about, is that SimCity is coming?
I mean, frankly, the big news, as everybody knows, is the iPad 3, or the iPad.
Yeah, not iPad 3. I would say this is the iPad 3rd generation, because that's how we kind of refer to all the laptops and stuff and what generation we're in. But
Well, we can get into that argument when we get into that argument. But the first point is kind of to detail out the specs if you haven't heard them already. What is all in the new iPad, Braden?
You're getting twice the resolution of the iPad 2, so more or less 4x off of what the original iPad was, which they call the Retina display. So,
and by that they mean if you hold it at 15 inches, you can't see the pixels.
Correct. Which, and I've heard this argument already, if you look at an HD television from 15 feet away, like you're supposed to, that would also technically be on a Retina display because you can't see the pixels at that distance.
Tomato, tomato.
All right.
But if you look at the Verge article on the new iPad, they have a close-up shot of the Retina display versus the old display, and it is kind of impressive.
Well, I'm very impressed.
We've heard by people who've seen it that they say once you've seen an iPad with the high definition display that you can't go back, that it's just an old iPad.
I'm sitting here looking at the chat room basically on an iPad 2, mind you, and if this was a real iPad, I think you could actually read what the chat room's actually saying right now. But on this iPad, I don't think it's not possible. Now, granted, you're looking at it through a webcam and everything, but the resolution is okay for the iPad, but this next generation is going to blow everything out of the water, as it should, since, they're going to spend the time to make a whole new generation. Why not put the best thing that they can forward?
So, I mean, the top three things are the display, the better camera.
Better
I think
camera.
they say a megapixel camera, basically the same one that's in the iPhone 4S,
I'm excited about
and
that.
LTE,
And can shoot HD
fast,
video. That's
fast
kind of a big
connection.
thing too.
That's not one of the top three. Those are the top three in my opinion: the display, the camera, and the fast connection.
No.
Is that worth it to make you upgrade from your iPad to Braden?
So first off, not technically mine, WashU's. So I'm not going to be upgrading, or this isn't going to be upgraded. This will remain at WashU or whatever. Um,
Note that the prices are for the Wi-Fi version. The cheapest price is $500. The 4G version, the cheapest one, the smallest hard drive space is $630.
right. And they have a tiered program now, basically, of what you can buy as far as how much money do you afford to put towards a Apple tablet. You have options now. That's kind of what they broadened and made possible today. You have your top of the line, newest, greatest thing. The iPad 2 becomes their lesser and still admirable tablet on the market.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you're hypothesizing about the name, right?
Right.
Basically, people were freaking out when they first announced that the iPad is called just the iPad instead of the iPad 3.
The new iPad.
But then the internet kind of realized, Braden told me about this, that they'll probably end up doing a structure like the MacBooks, in that they have a lower version MacBook and a higher version MacBook, and they also have a middle one. But the iPads, this is going to turn into the iPad Old 2 is going to be the lower quality iPad that people can still buy, and the iPad 3 is going to be the higher quality iPad, but they're just both going to be called iPads.
Right. And that's how I
But
see it.
we're still gonna, like, consumers are still gonna have to make up names. Like, we've made up names for the iPods, the first generation, the second generation, the third generation.
Yeah.
You do that same thing for the MacBooks. Even Apple themselves, when you're filling out a support form, you have to say, I have the MacBook from early spring 2009, or I have the MacBook from 2008 summer, like.
Now, two things on that. As far as MacBooks go, I more or less define them by what type of video display they have out on them. Like your oldest generation that people tend to be using these days has DVI out. Beyond that, you have just DisplayPort, and then all the latest generations have mini DisplayPorts, and your latest greatest have more Thunderbolt ports, which isn't a video port, but you
Yeah, but
define it
how do
by
you
what ports they
describe
have on.
that to someone? You can't say, "Oh, I have the MacBook that has the mini display port, but not the one with the 2047 resolution, the one with the 2096 resolution."
But no, you don't
Like, that's
define it
just
like that at all. You just say, well, I have the
preference.
latest MacBook out. Or if it's not the latest, you just say, I have an older MacBook. That's all people really say. It's either old or it's the newest.
Which I mean, that's what Apple wants you to do. They want to be a brand that people aspire to, an aspiratory brand, aspirational brand, as I was taught in my one business class that I took. And they want people to want the iPad that is the latest and greatest, because they want people to upgrade, and they want people to give them money. And you don't get almost $100 billion market cap. $100 billion in cash is what they have, I think. $96 billion in cash.
Yep.
You don't get that much money by just not knowing what you're doing. So I guess they know what they're doing, but is that good for consumers?
I think it's good for consumers in the fact that we're getting nice things in technology that actually work, and we're able to purpose them for the things that we want them to do. And in a sense, we have an iPad now that is less of a consumption device and more of a creative device.
Yeah, and that's absolutely good. We as a society are a very consumptive society, and we need to get more into creation. So as long as they're creating more tools for creation, for creating great things out there, whether it be apps, documents, music, you know, anything like that, that's it's a great thing for them to be doing.
And I think we've beaten this horse to death, don't you? So,
Yes, some
if you
other
got the money
technology
to go
use.
out and buy an iPad 3, the pre-orders are already started. Go out and get an iPad. It will be great. It will be the best tablet on the market for a while.
Absolutely.
Now,
In other news this
hang on.
week,
I'm going to diverge because since we're talking about iPad, I want to move over to iPhone app. And this is
all
what
right,
I didn't tell you about today. Check out this app, Zombies Run. You've heard me kind of talk about this before, and I almost talked about it last week. But last week was before I actually went out and used this thing. Now, what is this app? This app is more or less a game, but it is a game that makes you go out and actually run. Before this, I was starting to get back into running because I want to get more in shape, and it's getting nicer out, so I can actually go out and run. This thing, I can't wait to go out and run again. But last Saturday was the first day I used this thing. And I ran 3 or so miles. And what's happening while you're running is it's telling you this story. And if you're not running fast enough, zombies catch up with you and you hear them breathing on you and you have to run faster to outrun the zombies and all. It's a fun not necessarily interactive but immersive experience.
you
However,
like it?
I love it. I like it too much because I said on Saturday I ran out and ran 3 miles. Sunday I went running twice. Both times I ran more than 4 miles.
Wait,
And
really?
yes, check my tweets. I tweeted out each of my run time or my run totals. However, Monday I go into work, and after lunch on Monday, my feet start burning so bad that I can barely walk. And today I was actually home all day because I can no longer walk because I have tendonitis so bad. I am sitting here right
Braden,
now
that's
with
horrible.
an ice pack on my feet because I can't walk.
That's
Well,
horrible. Horrible and amazing. You're lucky that our chat room friend Rob G is an avid runner. Maybe he can give you some tips.
I've been reading up on running and stuff now, and it's almost obvious that I have tendonitis. And to be honest, I'm still hobbling around here. If I don't go to work tomorrow, I'm going to the doctor. The only other thing that I've read that I haven't been told, or I don't have, is anti-inflammatories. It,
Rob says you should stretch.
I do stretch. I stretch
Wait, so
before and
what
after
is
each
the name
run.
of this app?
This is called Zombies, Run, and it is awesome. And there's even while you're running, you're collecting things. So the more you run, the more things and stuff you collect. And then after you're done with your run and you stretch and sit down and time has passed, you're able to assign these items that you get. One of the things you find is like tin food and broken cell phones, and you find underwear a lot. I find.
What if
But
you're like a lame runner like me, where I just run around the same block like 5 or 10 times?
well, okay, so it's using first off, it's using GPS to make sure that you're still moving, but it's also trying to use the accelerometer in there. It said that part was still in beta, but I'm assuming that's kind of like if you wanted to run on a treadmill and you can't run outside. But I think they're still trying to flesh this out. This app was built off of a successful Kickstarter, Kickstarter.com. We've talked about that before.
Is it free?
No, it's
How much?
$9, I think. I say it's
Whoa,
worth it.
buddy!
I say it's worth it.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a great story. That's a sad story. I think
As
our
much as
chat
I've
room
been
says-
hurting, it's kind of sad, but I want to go run and play more of the game right now, even though I'm in pain.
Can't you just like think of the things in your head?
I could, oh, now I'm being chased by a zombie. I'll run faster now, but it's better when because there's an entire story behind it too. Like you are Runner 5 in the game because the old Runner 5 just got bit when your helicopter crashed, and I won't spoil any more of it, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
we people can download it if they are interested because we need to get to other news. But that's definitely super interesting that you are so compelled to run, and it's an interesting genre of apps. I think that
I agree. It's
it can actually make you a better person instead of just sitting here and becoming a bigger fat ass like me.
You still run. That you're ahead of the game in so many different ways. Anyway, continuing on this successful podcast, Gavin, what's our next story?
Something exciting for you Android users out there. Google on Monday or Tuesday, rebranded the Android market to be Google Play.
Now, I don't understand why Google Play. The Google Play sounds more like a music app to me, but okay. The
Well, I
Google
mean, I
Play is
think
the new
it's
Android market.
I
I
think
can
it's a big
accept that at
deal.
face
They
value.
they now more better combined all types of media. So you can download Android apps, you can download books, music. Um, that's all. But wait, did I say books,
You
music,
said books.
apps, and stuff? And
Wait, does it have books?
I mean, the books, they even have an iPhone app. I'm impressed by Google Play, and I'm definitely going to be using them. And I think the name change is good for Android because people were confused about the Android market. They're like, oh, is this the official market? Blah, blah, blah.
Why?
Um, where there are actually multiple app markets, as I understand it, right? Braden, you used to
Well,
own Android.
I still own a Droid. It still gets used every once in a while. It's sitting right over there. I can't necessarily reach it right now, but now it's my Pandora player because it still connects to my Wi-Fi, and I can just pipe that right into the speakers. It's pretty nice for that. You know, it's the first Droid, so do I even get the option to upgrade my to an Android market that's better? Because I don't get any of the latest builds for Android.
Oh, I
Is it
don't know.
specific to that?
I don't know how the Android market gets connected in.
Now,
But Rob G in the chat room is saying that like it competes with the Amazon Kindle Fire Store, for example.
and that's the only other thing that I knew to mention was that's the Amazon store is the only other app store I know of for Android.
I
Other
think there's
than,
others as well.
well, you can download apps that aren't necessarily in a store. Like you can just go to a website to download an app if you have that feature turned on in your phone.
Very nice. Anyway, it's at Google. What is it? Google.com/play. Play.google.com. Just Google for it.
Google Play.
And they're doing some free MP3 stuff and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting.
If I had an Android device, I would try it out. That, is updated.
What else? What else happened this week, Braden? Do you have a story that you were interested in?
Well, so on top of like the iPad, the new announcement and the iPad 2 becoming cheaper, that cheaper iPad kind of more or less goes um, more to the market that can be massively bought for like a school or something. And one thing, and I haven't been able to find the story back, but they're making an app just for managing large amounts of installs for iPads and managing large quantities of them as well. So they're gearing more and more towards schools, and there's actually a plethora of education apps that they're announcing as well with along with this iPad. I'm sorry to
Yeah, I
like go
mean, why
back to
wouldn't you
this.
want to indoctrinate the children to be addicted to your products?
Well, that's one way, or you can look at it the fact that the iPad has so many resources to it that you can educate children faster, or I don't know. Me and Andrew actually had a long talk over lunch of how our kids need to actually use books, and my argument was, what does a book do that's not necessarily can't be done on an iPad? And,
Wait, no, I do have a thought on this.
okay,
Have you ever tried to read a book on a device?
yes,
I don't believe that because
I will
if
bring it
you
up.
truly would have, you would have not actually completed the book. The problem is that apps, you've got your book app and you're reading your book, and in the back of your mind, you're like, ooh, but there's these fun games right behind this book. I can just click this button and go play a game. And I think that's some sort of torture because I'm a fairly like disciplined guy, but even I have a hard time saying, I'm going to read. I mean, obviously, if it's something fun that you're reading, that's totally different, like Harry Potter, or like whatever is up your alley, your favorite type of book. But if it's not your favorite type of book, like a textbook, it's going to be really hard not to press the little button and play a game instead of reading that textbook.
All right, where are PDFs stored on an iPad?
What? I don't know.
I've lost it
iPad
already.
doesn't have storage that you
That
can.
or I deleted them off here already because it was probably taking up too much space. But I had. Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's a plethora of things that I've read on here. Most
I'm
of them are
just kidding.
manuals and stuff.
I know you can read. Stop getting defensive. That's awkward.
It's not that awkward, but
Just kidding.
I have read a book to completion on the iPad. And some of them were technical manuals.
Hmm.
So
we've got 2 or 3 more stories real quick here.
all right, rapid fire them for us, buddy.
First one is 2 days ago, a story about how government agencies are demanding that job applicants, give their Facebook usernames and passwords.
Hang on, I got to comment on that because I hate that, to be honest. Facebook I find to be so unprofessional. That's why I have filled my entire Facebook with lies. I do not work for the CIA. I am not a vegan. I don't live in Fairview Heights. Nothing on my Facebook page is true because I find it to be for games and for stupid friend connections and stuff.
Well, you're unique in that.
LinkedIn, that's made out to be a more professional connection for businesses and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's the point. These government agencies want to make sure they understand that you're not like saying inappropriate things to minors on Facebook and things like that.
Okay, can they also look at that and be like, oh, you played this such and such a game. Oh, I've played a Chahulu game, so that must make me believe in magic or the occult. What type of stuff is that saying to everybody?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is just one of those blips on the path to a technology-infused world that government agencies and conservative companies don't understand how the technology works. Like, it's unreasonable for them to ask for your password. Like, what if that's a password that you use in other accounts?
Exactly.
It's just outrageous, and the ACLU is definitely pushing back on this. The article talks about, but it is kind of outrageous and an example of how companies sometimes just don't get the technology.
Out of all the things that I gave up for Lent, Facebook is the one that has been, I guess, to say that it was the easiest to give up because I don't want to go back to that at all. I don't want to drink caffeine ever again because I think it'll kill me, but anyway.
That's
Rant
true. Facebook,
done.
I mean, when I was in college, it was harder to give up Facebook because I used Facebook more, but now it's not that bad.
I think it's irrelevant now.
But
Moving on.
is it irrelevant for like kids in high school and college? That's the question.
No, probably not. But there's still that's probably the only place that I've ever connected to people from Webster on is on Facebook. But I don't want it to be. There's so many better things out there right now. I mean, like, are you digging this whole timeline feature thing that's going on? I don't know. I'm done ranting, I guess.
I mean, you're speaking.
I'm in hate with Facebook.
No one thinks this is the good idea. The problem is that, like, it's a rough economy. We have 8% unemployment out there, and people are feeling pressured. Like, if they don't give their Facebook credentials, they might not get the job, and someone else will. So, it's an interesting problem. Hopefully...
What if you don't have a Facebook account? Can we just delete them all and be done with it? And
yeah, there you go. So anyway, we'll end on a happy note.
Yes, Doug would like a happy story. Can you help us out there?
Well, okay, here's 2 happy stories. The first one is that SimCity is going to return after a 10-year holiday. The Register is
Has it been 10 years already?
It's been 10 years.
I'm sure other people have like kept their cities going on since like SimCity 2000, right?
SimCity 2000 was the best.
I agree. I played the crap out of that game.
But the new SimCity is not going to be out till next year, so we have a little bit to wait.
Doug announced, is it called SimCity 4000? because I think that would be great.
I don't think that's what they're naming it, but
What else can you do with a SimCity game? You can up all the
just
graphics and
SimCity.
such.
Good one, Rob.
Yeah, why not? Dude, that would be great. SimCity for the iPad. I would play the crap out of that game.
No, do you get the joke? It was super dry joke. You know, the iPad's
No,
just
no, no.
naming
I
it.
got it.
Okay.
I got it.
I think they do have SimCity, the old SimCity 2000 on iPad. I'm pretty sure they ported it over.
Okay,
I'm like
I'm
90% sure I've seen that.
going to resist temptation and not download that game right now while we end the show.
And finally, if you go to Google Translate, for you German-speaking audience, Doug, you should appreciate this.
Ich bin ein Beniter?
Everyone do this with me. Go to Google Translate, translate.google.com. Translate from French to English. No, from German to English. Sorry. German to English. Are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Are you doing it?
Oh, I'm looking at SimCity on iPad. What?
Exactly. So everybody go to German to English and type in with me Google space. Are you doing this, Braden?
Hang on. German to English translation. Yes.
Google space IST space DOOF. That means Google is stupid in German.
Yep.
And check out the translation. Thank you, Google, for that.
The translation I got was Google is stupid.
Did you type it in all lowercase?
I went to translation.babylon.com.
You're dumb. All right. Well, with that, we will end the show. If you want to follow me, you can find me on twitter.com/GavinR and check out our Tech Talk Tonight Twitter account. We use it to update you on the schedule of Tech Talk Tonight.
Always. And I am at Braden H, or just Braden Henze on Google Plus. Or, check me out on LinkedIn because I find it to be a better social network for business stuff. And that's
Braden
all I'm going to say about that.
Always gets down to business.
Yes, I do get down to business while I'm sitting here with my feet on ice.
He's giving him the business.